welcome back to the Toppling TBR. I'm Stacey.
And I'm Hannah, and today we are diving into the Assassin's Blade. Super exciting, all the cute little short novellas. We're just gonna go in order. So let's start off with the
Yes.
Assassin and the Pirate Lord. I did make one little
Perfect.
note before we dive into this that, it starts off before she goes to Skull's Bay about Ben, Arobyn's second, had just died and nobody went to get his body. And so she's going to put herself in danger and go get his body. And I just wanted to make note of that because it really shows how far Celaena will go for the people that she loves. Like we saw it whenever she killed Baba Yellowlegs to protect Dorian's secrets. So
yeah,
this is not the first or the last time that this will happen. So I wanted to make note of that. But then we go to Skull's Bay. And I don't know about you, but I loved and hated and was just kind of surprised by her audacity of, lounging in his office, going through his things, keeping her feet on his desk as he walked in.
Yeah. She is a brat. She is and she's just always pushing that envelope. I know, it's crazy.
She really is.
Yeah.
Then we meet Rolf. So how do you feel about Rolf? What do you think?
It's funny because I kind of liked him.
Mm-hmm.
He is what he is, and he makes no secret about that. And he doesn't care who knows it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not trying to hide who he is. And I kind of liked that. I liked the authenticity of who he was as a character.
Yeah.
And how he interacted with Sam and Selena. I kind of liked him.
Yeah, I kind of view him less like slimy, slime ball pirate and more of a businessman, but he is very which I like.
Yeah, exactly. A businessman. That's a really good way of putting it because he doesn't even dress like a pirate. She was really surprised about how he was dressed.
Yeah, she was like, he's clean.
He didn't portray the pirate as she was imagining it. So, yeah. I kind of liked him. He made no secret of who he was and getting his stuff done.
How do you think that he felt about Celaena? I feel like he went back and forth between respecting her. I don't think he ever really feared her, but I think that he found her really entertaining.
Yeah, I think so as well. The whole dynamic of she's so much younger than people don't realize how much younger she is to her reputation. So he's curious to see what more she can do because I think he was just kind of keeping an eye.
Well, I don't think he even knew how young she was until the end whenever she took her mask off to distract him.
Yeah. So but I think he must have realized she was young, like how young Sam is, too.
Yeah. I think he's around the same age as her, too.
Yeah, I think,
okay, so one thing that I had written down was she's, very theatrical and over the top. Do you think that is her way of having a shield, or do you think that's genuinely who she is at this point?
That's a really good question. I think there is a little of both. I think that she needs to portray a certain deflective shield because nothing can bother her, but I think she feels really intensely inside. So she has to keep people at a certain distance, and I think she does that by coming across that way. I think she really enjoys it, but I really think that who she is in herself is a little more than that, but she doesn't want anyone to know that. Keeps herself really protected that way.
Yeah,
and I get that.
She does. Okay, so then we learn Arrobyn wants to do a slave trade, which is stupid. He's just power hungry. He's already rich. He doesn't need it. But we see her kind of disgust for it. And I think it does have to do with the slaves, who they are, but I think a lot of it also has to do with her fighting against and her dislike for her being controlled her whole life too. So I think it's kind of both of those things.
I think you're right. I also wondered because she's part of the guild, right? And she's his protege, but her herself really is a slave because she owns money to Arrobyn for all the training and whatnot. So she's really a slave to him too. She doesn't really have much of a say in how she conducts her own life. So maybe she feels a kind of kinship with the slaves because she understands that she has at least some say in her life. They have none.
Right, but she can't do anything to break away from, which they've referred to him as her master, but she can't do something to free these slaves. So I think that was kind of a connection.
Yeah.
then we see her, free these slaves, and it was actually, I mean, it was her first big act of rebellion against Arobyn,
Yeah.
like her first pushback. So, do you think that if she did not free the slaves, that she would still be under Arobyn's thumb? Because that was kind of the catalyst, like the turning point for everything.
Yes, but I think it would have happened eventually. It wouldn't have happened so soon because I think the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
about like the guy that died. I'm just trying to find his name here because she goes to wants to go retrieve
Ben.
his body. Ben, yeah. So you can see there that she wasn't happy that Ben was left.
Yes.
So, and they were going to leave him there. They weren't interested in retrieving that. So I think already she was chafing up against the way things were being done. That I think that this is just what happened then. If she hadn't have done that, it would have been something else later. I
Yeah.
think it was inevitable.
I agree too. But this definitely put it all into motion.
Oh yeah, a lot sooner than it was expected. But I also
Mm-hmm.
wrote down like it was funny because Sam seemed okay about the slave thing until he heard it was women and children, and then he looked like his line was a little morally further over than Selena's because she wasn't happy. Period. But he seemed
Well,
to be more worried about the fact that there was because as soon as he said women and children, that's when his face turned to
mhm.
anger. So he was kind of okay with the slaves as long as they weren't women and children, and I thought that was really interesting as
Well, if
well.
you remember in there, his mom at a very young age was a courtesan, so she was
Yeah.
a slave
And she
too.
died when he was young, right? I think I wrote that down. He was just
Yeah,
like 8 or 6 or something
he was
when she
6.
died.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is totally off a different tangent, and I had one more point I was going to say before
Okay.
this, but I wrote this down because I was like, it can't be true, but my brain started going while I was reading. I wrote down that we learn, Sam's mom was killed by a jealous client whenever he was 6, and she was one of Arobyn's favorites. What if, because I don't think we ever find out who Sam's father is,
No.
what if Arobyn is Sam's dad? Because why else would he just randomly take someone in? Like, because he used to sleep with them. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So that would be interesting.
That would have been really interesting because if he was only 6, then there's a good chance he was sleeping with her for a long period of time. You're not
Totally one
wrong.
thing I thought about. Don't think that it's true, but it would be very interesting.
She just doesn't mention that, but you never know, right? You never know.
I don't think we ever learn who his dad is, but
No.
that was interesting. The last thing, I had a couple other points on this, is I was going to ask if you thought, so she essentially threatens Rolf, like, you will no longer participate in slave trade and you will now be a safe harbor for slaves. Do you think he's going to honor that? Or do you think that
Yes.
whenever she leaves, you do?
Yeah, I do. I really do because it's funny because I actually wrote this down. I was like, he asks her when she's got him down, any other requests, and she was like, "Why, yes, and a ship would be nice." I was laughing my freaking ass off when she said that, and she obviously got a ship. So I really think that he understood that she would have eyes, and if she found
Mhm.
out, he'd be dead.
Yeah, so by the end of this, he does fear her, in a sense.
Oh yeah, he's petrified.
I think
So
fear
I
and
think,
respect, though. Like,
oh
whew.
yeah. She got the one up. She got the one. He had all these little pirate people, and it was just her and Sam, and she got him on his knees. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
this
that's
little
right there.
16-year-old girl.
All right,
Oh.
little girl, your
Okay, so do you
pencil.
think that he will follow through? I don't know if you think she'll ever go back to school, Spay. You think he'll follow through on he said, if you ever step back here, you're dead. Or do you think he fears her too much to follow through on that?
Well, the problem is, did he know that she went to prison? Because if he knows that and she's in prison in a place where you're sent to die, I probably wouldn't worry about that anymore either.
I think so, because I do think it was public knowledge that Otterlin's assassin was there because people still didn't know her identity, but they did know.
Exactly, but he did, right?
Mhm.
So I think then that he probably like, oh, let's back to business as usual because people die there.
People don't
He's not expecting her to
leave.
get out. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that he would have thought he was safe.
Yeah, yeah, true.
I don't know. I think he would have thought he was okay. I probably would have thought that.
Yeah, probably. Especially whenever you've got, so much money to be made. And he's like, well, how am I going to keep this place afloat without it? So he probably was in a
Yeah,
place of desperation by
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Okay, so overall on this whole section, do you view them freeing the slaves and everything as a true victory? Or do you think that it was a small victory and she just gained another set of enemies?
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. For those two, like she said, she was like maybe what she did was small, but to those
Mhm.
200 slaves, it was everything. And I think that's kind of the point for her is that she didn't do it for a big win. She did it for every single one of those lives that she just saved.
Absolutely. And it
Yeah.
also gives her a reputation of sorts too, and it's starting to like define her character to other people and how they see her.
Yeah. It's funny because this is the book where I really I fell in love with her because she
Really?
didn't care. Like she viewed Arobyn, like she explains that she's like, is he a father? Is he a lover? Is he like she couldn't
Mhm.
really define who he was to her, but she still decided that those 200 lives were more important to her than how
Right.
he felt about her. And that
Right.
for me, right there, was when I went, that's my girl. That's her
Mm.
right there.
Okay. Do you have anything else on this section? Because the next one is actually where I fell in love with her.
Yeah, I have one question. They talk about the magic map on the hand. Like, does this become something in the future? Because
Um,
that's magic right fucking there. Like,
well,
how?
okay, so it's not magic right now. It was magic, and it mentioned that 8 years ago, whenever magic disappeared, it stopped moving. So he
Okay.
did sell his soul to get this map on his hands, and it is the map of the continent, and it, moves and shifts and all of that. And it's supposed to show him like where treasure and where
Okay.
things he wants are, but it stopped moving whenever the magic
Okay, so
disappeared.
where magic disappeared. Okay.
So now it's just a tattoo. And it will touch on it a little bit later, but as of now, it's not working magically.
Okay. Because I'm like, I wonder if this is going to come back up again. Like, about that people could get
Hmm.
magic to, like, I don't know. I was like, ooh, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
that was pretty much all
Cool.
my notes. She pretty much covered
Okay.
everything.
So the next section we jump into is the assassin and the healer. And this
Yep.
is this is where I fell in love with Selena, like hands down. And I was thinking about it this time through and I'm like, why this one? Because it's a pretty mild, chill section. I think it's because this is such a rare moment that we get to see her no mask, no flair, no anything. She's just so raw.
Yeah.
She's a little down. I feel like this is her most authentic self. And it was so nice. So nice to see her just
Yeah.
out for a second. And she's such a good person. She's so kind. I
Yeah.
love it.
You know what? If I hadn't have fallen in love with her already, this would have been the book that would have done it
Hmm.
for me, because I really enjoyed the fact that she was watching. And rather than just saving this girl and walking away, she taught her the skills to be able to do it for herself next time.
Yeah.
I know. And I was like, yeah, that's
I
because that's the way you do it. And she was like, and then you teach the next person and the next person.
I
Like, pay it.
absolutely love that she did that. And I think she's just genuinely actually a good person, but also she wanted someone to like, step up and be that for her. And she's also, an advocate for women and
Yeah.
children and,
Yes.
people who can't really take care of themselves. But I
Yeah.
freaking loved after she taught her and then the guys came back and were holding a knife to Irene's throat. And Selena's just like, well, go on, show me
Yeah.
what you got. I
Yep.
loved it. Like
I did
I
too.
loved it, loved it, loved it. And afterwards, she was like, "What? It was a controlled environment. It's the best place to do it," which is so
Well,
true.
no.
I love
Yeah.
it.
But she didn't know that. But she
Mhm.
still managed to do it in the moment of terror. What
Yeah,
she learned, she used, and she got away. And
yeah.
yeah, I was like, nice.
And I can imagine how terrified Irene is. Like, she's this very quietly strong person who, she's been allowing all of these people to walk all over her for the last year that
Yeah,
she's been finished, Like, she doesn't stand up for herself. So it was
I,
a huge moment of growth for her.
oh, huge. But what I did notice is that in the beginning, too, when she was kind of keeping an eye on the guys watching
Hmm.
Selena, that she was there, she was willing to step in.
Hmm.
So she didn't know that she could take care of herself, and she's just, and she was still worried about her. And I thought that was really sweet, too.
Yes. So what do you think of Irene?
I love her. I love
Yeah, me
her.
too. Me too.
I feel like she kind of got stuck in this rut. Like, she had a plan and she let it go, and she was felt kind of stuck. And I
Hmm.
think she realized that she was holding herself back because she could have just left. And
Absolutely.
she's
I
scared. She let fear rule her.
I really liked this one too because it was a fun balance and like unlikely allies between a healer and an assassin, two different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool for me. And I like that, I don't know, at the end of it, that not only did Selena give her all of her money and everything, but she really gave her like so much courage. And she knows now that she can defend herself and she should follow her dreams. So I remember after the first time I read it being like, see Irene again. Like I really, really, really like her. I like the story.
Yeah.
And I'm always big into healing stories. Like I love healers and all the books that I read.
No, I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I wish that it had been a little longer. I
Me
guess I would have
too.
liked to have seen Irene later. Like,
Yeah.
hey, she's in school, she's learning, and she's thinking about Selena and the start she gave her. That would have been nice, just to maybe just tie it off a little bit. Because I felt a little bereft that we don't know if she's okay. Like, did she get out?
Yeah.
Did she do her thing? I'm like, oh,
You're gonna
I would
learn
have liked.
everything.
No, I know, and
Mhm.
I don't think we're supposed. I think it was supposed to be more about Selena than
Yeah.
Irene. But I was just like, I would have liked to have known that Selena's gift
Put it to
rewarded.
good use.
Yeah, I would have liked to have known that.
Cool. Anything else on that one? That was
No,
a
I
pretty
think she
short
pretty much
one.
covered everything there. She covered everything there.
All right. So then we move into the assassin in the desert.
Yes.
I know you didn't love this one.
No, this was my least favorite one, and I think it's just
Really?
it kind of dragged. I don't know.
It
It didn't. Yeah, I was kind of like I can see why people like flick forward. I guess like
mm,
it took a while to get going.
it did. It had a very slow start.
Yeah,
But one thing I did like, I think that this section allowed her the most growth.
yeah,
Because she's used to being owed respect for being Arobyn's protege, you know?
yeah.
And the Silent Assassins made her earn it.
Oh yeah,
And that was something that she was unfamiliar with. And in doing that, she had to put all of her go-to flashy, all of her normal behavior aside and actually learn how to be quiet and
yeah.
patient.
She
And
had to put her arrogance to.
her arrogance, that's a good word for
Yeah,
it. Yes.
yeah,
She had to put all that aside. And in learning how to shut her mouth, because she doesn't ever do that, she learned a little bit of discipline, I think.
yeah.
And I think that that was so needed for her character growth. Like,
Yes.
she would have got her impulsivity would have gotten her into so many issues and stuff. And I mean, I'm sure it still will, but as we see in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, which is in the future, but it was just very, very needed for her
I
to.
liked the fact that she was out from under Arrobyn as well. Like we got to see who
Mhm.
she was without that looming over her. I know she had to get the letter, but it was really nice to just watch her try and figure this out on her own,
Mhm.
rather than because it always felt like she's having to. Is this okay? Is this okay?
Yes.
This is what you want me to do. Now she's
Yeah.
like, there's no one telling me how to do this.
Mhm.
So I think that was what we were supposed to watch her learn is kind of how to do this by herself,
Mhm.
which was interesting. Because
Yes.
like I said, it was just until they got like the whole part about her traveling there, I could have done without all of
Yeah.
that.
It's so
That
hot.
was
All
so
that.
boring.
Yeah,
So boring.
agreed. Okay, so then they go to shortly after she gets there, she goes with Ansel to Xandria, and she meets
Yeah.
a merchant selling spider silk. And we
Yeah,
learn that it
that was interesting.
and we learn that it costs hopes and dreams. And he asks her, would you be willing to kill the spider so I can get my ears back, essentially? Do you think that she will follow through on that, or do you think that she's just gonna take the spider silk and run? Did you think about that at all?
You know what? I believe I didn't really think about it, but now you've said that, I believe that Selena keeps her promises. I don't think that
Mhm.
she lies. I really don't. I
Yeah,
think
she
if she
did.
says something, she means it, and she will stick to that. I do not believe that she is one of those people that just says things to get what she wants. I really don't.
Mhm.
Even though
Yeah,
she's a bit of a brat and she's a bit of a materialistic girl, I really truly believe that if she says it, she means it.
right. I don't actually think that she agreed to it, but then he gave her that as almost like a push in that direction.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
she didn't have to take it. She didn't have to
right.
take it, but
Who's
she
not gonna
did.
take it?
Well, I would have. I would have.
Absolutely. Okay, so then after that, they steal the Assyrian horses, which I really enjoyed that scene.
I did too. That's when it got exciting for me. Like
Hmm.
that's when I was like, yeah, let's go. That was
Like
fun.
the running and jumping over the wall. Oh my gosh, that was so exciting to me. Like I just could
Yeah.
imagine how free and reckless and I don't know. All she probably had. It was probably a great feeling.
Well, yeah, but she's been so like you have to do it this way. She got to be
Mhm.
free like a young girl, like doing
Right.
silly things that young girls do. So she got
Yeah.
to yeah. It kind of feels like she's kind of hit the teenage rebellion. Dad's not watching.
We'll
So
finally
yeah,
feel some
that's what
kindness.
that's yeah, it was exciting. I really enjoyed that. I like I said, the last part of that novella was the best part of the whole book.
For sure. Okay, so then she gets back and I wondered and I still don't know why. So I'm curious to see if you thought about it. After she gets back, the mute master and all that sees that they stole the Assyrian horses and Celaena takes the blame for it. And then after that he's like, training starts tomorrow. So, like, why did he decide to train her there? The bold move of stealing the horses, or he knew she was lying and taking the blame for Ansel?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I don't think it was anything to do with the horses. I think it's the fact that she stood in front of that girl and said, it's my fault. This is where the blame lies, right here.
Oh, and I bet that pissed Ansel off because she's been wanting to be trained by him for so long. And she's like,
Yeah.
my idea.
Yeah. But I think it was just because he knew it was Ansel, and I think that he respected the fact that she was willing to put her own training aside to protect somebody else. And
Take
I think
punishment
that
for it.
was, yeah.
Next note I wrote was whenever they are training, after her and Ansel get in a little argument, and the master is basically like, what's wrong? And she told him, I'm scared to go home. Everything is different now. And to me, I feel like that's because now she has seen the mute master who, empowers his students.
Yeah.
And she's used to Arobyn, who's just straight up rules through, fear and manipulation.
Right.
And so now she's having to confront this whole new aspect that maybe she hasn't seen before or noticed before. And she, in order to be true to herself, is going to have to go back and actually like deal with it and make some moves that are not going to be easy.
Yeah.
So that's how I took that. I don't.
I think she also knows that Arobyn's opinion of her has changed, and that's not an easy thing to accept either. She now knows that he sent her away because he was pissed. Like, he beat her, he was really angry at her, and she doesn't know what she's going home to either. So not only is she seeing that there is a better master out there, someone else who has like compassion and doesn't treat his students that way, back to a man who is basically a villain. I don't like him. I didn't like him from book 1 of this novella, just so you know.
It's worse and worse.
I put, because at the top of the page of this one, I put Arobyn and I put villain and I put a question mark. Because
I wrote Arobyn
so fishy, and it really, he smelt funky to me, and I'm like,
that's funny. Yeah, I literally wrote in the very beginning of all of my notes, Arobyn is a dick, and I underlined
it. Yeah, he is. And I'm like, I knew something wasn't right from the get-go.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I feel like from everything that we've talked about through all of these books and stuff, you have really good intuition and you're really good at picking up on things. Like some things, I watched our podcast back with my friend the other day and she was like, how is she picking up on this? Like, what? I didn't notice that my first time through. And I'm like, you really are very good at that. So yes, villain, terrible human being.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. His whole mannerism, I guess, just
slimy. Ugh.
Yeah, I kind of wish it would have been really interesting if somebody did like a fan fiction and went and made it so that maybe she killed Arobyn in the beginning and took over the Assassin's Guild. How Throne of Glass would have looked had that had happened instead, like kind of like a multiverse kind of thing. Because I was like, imagine how she would have run the guild, because she is full of compassion. She wouldn't have been pulling any of this crap.
Like, actually, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump in. I had written down a question for a different section, but this is perfect. I had written down, do you think that Celaena's compassion is like a downfall in Arobyn's world, or do you think that actually makes her better than him?
I think that for Arobyn, it's a massive problem. But I think I don't think it is as far as assassins go. I really think that, I know that they get paid to kill people, but when she was talking to Sam at one point and she mentions but they still have a choice. Like, the people they kill, they still have a choice. And they're killing bad people as far as their code of conduct goes, but those slaves were really innocent. And they didn't have a choice. Right. And I think that Celaena may have revolutionized the way the Assassin's Guild would have run, and I think it would have been for the better.
Yeah. I think that the compassion is straight up a positive attribute. I think the downfall comes into when she trusts the wrong people.
Yes. Yeah. Nail head right there.
Kind of go hand in hand, but if she could learn to, have better judgment of character.
I think that comes with age, though.
Yeah. Well, not only that though, but she's lost, all of her, like you said, the confusing relationship with Arobyn. Yeah. Is he her father, her brother, her lover, all of that? She lost all of those options, way back whenever her family was killed. So yeah. She's seeking that affirmation and that love somewhere.
In the wrong place.
Absolutely.
But she doesn't know that, because what else does she have? And that was something I wrote on the other page, like the whole thing about Ben. Like, was he, because it sounds as though he was really compassionate. Yes. Now, is that where she learned that she was modeling after him.
Probably.
Yeah, because she was, I felt like that maybe that was the moral compass she was watching. Like that's
Mhm.
how to be the kind of assassin she wanted to be. The one
Right.
with, yeah.
Well, one person makes you feel, great and validated, and
Yeah.
the other one makes you feel like shit. So which one are you
Yeah.
gonna strive to be like? So
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. Really interesting.
all right. So back to the desert, Ansel's betrayal. Did
Yeah.
you suspect it at all by her, talking to what his name was Barrack, I think, or did it just completely blindside you?
It blindsided me. I'm not gonna lie.
Me
I'm
too.
like,
Me too.
like, oh, did not see it coming at all. It's like,
No.
what? But
Yes.
I appreciated what she did for Selena.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
just tried to, but she's stubborn. She's so
Do you
stubborn.
Yes, she is. Do you think that she did that for Celaena? What do you think the ratio was of her doing it for Celaena to protect Celaena versus her doing it to protect herself? Because Celaena is a
Yeah,
badass and she
I
probably
don't
could
think she
stop
was
it.
thinking about that.
You
I
don't
don't
think
think she was
so?
thinking about that. No, I think that she was taking on a master. I think she got
Yeah.
her out of the way because she didn't want to hurt her,
Yeah.
and I don't think she really saw her as I don't think she saw her as a,
Like a
a
threat.
problem to be dealt with. I really
Mhm.
don't. Now, maybe you're right. Maybe it was 50-50. Maybe she felt, "I'll get her out of the way just in case she is a problem." But I don't know.
Mhm.
When I was reading it, I just got the vibe of she didn't want to hurt her.
Yeah, I think they actually, even though she was only there for a month, I think they developed a pretty deep friendship.
Yeah, that's what I wrote here too. That was her first real taste of like girl friendship, right?
Yeah. Do you think that, we learn a little bit of Ansel's backstory and, how her dad and sister was killed, and now she's doing all of this in order to go get revenge. So do you think it was justified at all?
Yeah, I kind of do. And I think that we also, like, after what happened with Nehemia, I think that's kind of the parallel right there. She couldn't,
Mhm.
like, they both fighting for something else. And there is an element of revenge in what Selena does as well. Like, she was freaking mad. Like, I'm not going to talk about the excess in another novella, but I think Selena understands the need to act revenge when these bad things happen. And I would
Yeah.
have done it.
The mute master right after that actually made a really good point, and he said that if you don't deal with your pain, it's going to turn into something toxic. So
Yep.
yes, she is mildly she's justified in what she wants to do. She is
Yes.
completely wrong in the way that she chose to do it. She
Oh,
about to kill
absolutely.
the mute master. She about to kill the mute master's son. She killed the guy she's been sleeping with for years because he got in the way. Like,
Yeah.
there becomes a point where you lose yourself to the rage, and I
And
think
that's
she
what she
really
did.
lost
Yeah.
herself. Yeah.
She totally did. She totally lost herself. But at the same time, this is what she felt like she needed to heal. And
Yeah.
no one taught her anything else. She was just a kid, right? She was just a kid when
Mhm.
it's like, who was there to say to her, I know you feel your pain right now, but let's channel it somewhere better. She didn't
Right.
have that. She
Right.
didn't have anybody there saying,
You know
hey, we can do this.
and, I wonder actually if the mute master would have trained her, if she would have had that outlet, because that's what she wanted
Yeah.
and if things would have gone differently.
But he said that he knew about her. So
And he
why
was
did he
hoping
not
she would
do
make it right.
something?
He was hoping. I think the way he's passive in the way that he trains. So I think that I mean, people aren't really going to learn unless you let them come to that conclusion themselves.
I know, but he must have realized after a certain amount of time that that wasn't going to happen with
Right?
her. Like,
Right?
so he'd waited so long, he still hadn't trained her. He must have understood that things weren't getting any better. But he was just hoping that one day she'd fizzle out. Like, I don't know. It seemed like a really strange thing to do. He
Yeah.
wasn't very proactive after it because a certain amount of time you're looking at something like a fire and it hasn't started. You're gonna go, okay, I should probably do something about that.
Yeah.
Like,
I
and
actually
he
didn't think about that.
didn't.
I
Like,
hear
I
you.
don't know. I don't know what he was expecting to happen. Was he hoping that she'd try and to kill him and realize she didn't want to? Like, I don't know. What was he waiting for?
I don't know. I don't know that he knew that she had the plans in motion to like make it happen right then and there.
Well, probably not. But she'd been there for a while, right? She'd been there
Yeah.
ages. So
Since she
I
was
don't know.
little. Because
Like,
actually
what was he?
she said that she ran into witches and they told her to go to the Red Desert, which
Well, there you go. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I
um
don't know. It was. I feel like no one took control of this poor, scared, angry girl, and just left her to fester.
mhm.
I don't know. I think he could have done more, and maybe this wouldn't have happened this way. I don't
Yes,
know.
agreed.
It's hard to say.
You think Celaena letting Ansel go was the right call.
Yes, I do.
Mhm.
I
Me
actually
too.
feel like Selena understood why. I
Yeah,
think
I
that
agree.
I think she understood, and I think that she killing her wouldn't have sat well with Selena. It wouldn't have. She
No,
would have just killed an angry girl who had nobody, which she understands that because
she
she was
is
the
that
angry
too.
girl that had nobody. So I think that letting her go was the right call because I think now that Ansel got away, that maybe she can let it go now and maybe
Mhm.
she can move past it. I probably would have let her go too.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't have gone up to shoot her. Like I probably wouldn't have even done that.
Well, also though, Ansel was in the upper position. She could have killed Celaena too, and
Yeah,
she didn't.
and she
So,
didn't. No.
a life for life, and also like you love her in a strange way, a friendship.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I did. I understood that Ansel was kind of the parallel of Selena had it been different for Selena, right?
Mhm.
Because she could have
Yeah.
gone that route. I don't know. I know. It's almost like Ansel was showing us what could have happened to her had she not ended up in the guild because she
Yeah,
was
she
kind of
didn't have an outlet.
yeah. I thought that was that's the one thing I did take away from this book was I feel like was showing us that Ansel could have who she could have been in the end.
Yes.
I get that, and I think Selena got that too.
Yes, I did end up loving the Meat Master. I thought he was very wise. I love that he gave her money to pay off her debt. I thought that was
Oh, I did too. That was yeah. That was probably my favorite part was when he started talking to her.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and
he's so
she's like, "Oh,
insightful.
I thought you were always." And he was like, "No, I never said that. It's just sometimes I forget I can."
Yeah, but also, I mean, he owed her big. She saved his life. She saved his son's life. And we saw the whole time that he was paralyzed, like how much it was tearing him up inside. Like he just wanted to help his son. So,
Yeah, he didn't care about his own life. I actually that because Arobyn's so self-serving that he
mhm,
would climb over bodies to get away, whereas this guy's like,
absolutely.
my son, like,
Please, someone help him.
please, yeah. I thought that was yeah. That was probably the magic in the book right there was her being able to buy her freedom too.
Yes. My last question I have on this one is that the silent assassins, they rely on discipline, whereas she's always relied on just straight pride and talent. So, in
Yeah.
your opinion, which one makes a better assassin or stronger assassin?
You know what? Selena's never had a problem doing what she's done, but I think
Mm.
now that she has learned from the Silent Master, I kind of think it's made her a much better
Yeah.
assassin. So
And
I
that you
think that
got
the key
both aspects.
yeah. Yeah. And why would Arobyn send her here? I have a question about that. Why would Arobyn send her there? Did he think that she wouldn't get trained?
I think that he thought she would fail
Yeah. And he wanted to put
or
her in her
maybe
place,
die
right?
on the trek. I don't
And
know.
he wanted to put her in her place, right?
Mhm.
Like you failed at this. Like
Or
I don't know. I was
maybe also he obviously was enraged, and he needed time to cool off and get over that because he doesn't want her dead because she's too beneficial for him.
yeah.
So maybe that also played into it.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, he's a fishy fucker.
And
I
he
don't
just
like it.
gets worse in every
I
single one,
know.
right?
I know. I was getting more angry. The more I was getting on, I was more angry.
Yes. You have anything else on that section?
Nope, no, I'm good.
All
It's so funny because you pretty much cover everything I write down. It's so
right.
weird. It's
Good.
like we're pre-planning it, but we don't talk beforehand. It's so weird.
We must like outline and everything the same way. So
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy because I'm like, and you literally, I'm like, yeah, every line, every.
well, I just write down random questions as I have them, and then random interesting points, and then I have to go through. Well, I'll think about it afterwards, and then I have to go through and read my notes, and then put them in the right order, like so
Yeah,
that they're in the right chronological order for the book. So
it's so funny because I'm like, it's like you're pulling these things out of my head, and I'm like,
well, good, same wavelength. Probably makes her a much more like cohesive episode
it feels natural. It's crazy.
for sure. All right, let's move to the assassin in the underworld.
Yes.
This one was probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really like the last two.
Yeah, well, three. It was this one and the one before it. I don't know. I actually quite liked the last one. I actually quite liked it.
Okay, that's a different one. Okay, so let's go to the underworld. So when we start off, she gets back and Arrobyn is like love bombing her or bribing her with all of these gifts.
I wrote insincere. That was the first thing I wrote. I
I
was like,
wrote
insincere.
I wrote he's not capable of genuine remorse.
No, because I'm listening to him like, because she was right. She's like, well, why didn't you write for me to come home then? If you were
Mhm.
so I feel
It
so
would have
sorry.
taken longer.
And I was like, bullshit. And I bloody knew it. He's a piece of shit.
Yes, he absolutely is. He is not capable of genuine remorse. He is just afraid to lose her. And he did something so unforgivable, beating her and sending her away, that he should have lost her. But she's over here accepting these gifts because, A, she likes nice things.
Yes.
And B, because their relationship is so muddy. It's so muddled, like it's so confusing. She's always seeked this validation from a mentor figure or
Yeah.
father figure or whatever, that
Yeah.
she's so confused.
Yeah, and you can really feel that in this book. And this is the only thing that I really liked about that, was you can see how hard it is for her to set aside the man that she wants him to be compared to how he is. And
Yes.
that's you can see it. She's starting to pull away now.
Yeah. And I think that puts her in a really confusing spot with Sam too, because we see her go back to this default being rude to him after all of their growth before. And I think she's kind of stuck between Sam and Arrobyn. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to let either one of them go, but like, I don't know. I think that plays into how rude she was to Sam.
Yeah. It's funny because I know that Sam's supposed to be like this first love of hers and she's devastated, but I didn't feel that. Like reading these books, I didn't feel like the way we hear her talk, like we can tell by the tone of the way she talks about Sam, even though she doesn't mention him much, that broke her. I'm not feeling it in these books.
You're
I,
not.
I no, I'm not at all. And I don't know if it's because I know that he dies, that I know that maybe I didn't set up much stock in this, but I'm like, I almost felt like she jumped to Sam because she had lost Arrobyn.
You just think he was the only
Just
good
traded
thing
another one
in
in.
love.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we see her before she's lost Arrobyn, whenever they're in Skull's Bay, and like there's not a lot, but like that's when the tension kind of starts to be brought into light. Like, I've never looked at him like that, or what? This is Sam. So I think also it's the right time in her life for like a sexual awakening and,
Yeah.
to start being interested in things like that. So I think the mix of hormones and needing love and all of that. Like, yes, Sam was really good to her for how terrible she was to him.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely heinous, but I think
How
that's
is
just
he
how
love this girl?
I think he saw the facade for what it was,
Yeah.
and he saw the girl underneath it, and that's
Mhm.
who he fell in love with. He didn't fall in love with her mask. He fell in love with the glimpses that he got of who she really was. But she likes to keep people at a distance, and I don't know. I kind of felt like, because in the beginning of this novella, that I can kind of see that she's already starting to peel away from Arrobyn, even though she doesn't want to. I think it's naturally already happening, and then it feels like Sam's kind of filling in the void instead. Like she's just noticing now because she's already pulling away. And I didn't know if that's kind of like she jumped from one mentor to somebody else to kind of be there.
I
I don't know. That's just kind of the vibe I got all the way through, was just
That's
Sam was a
interesting.
stepping point.
I didn't get that vibe. I took it as she does it, and for some reason she allowed Arrowbyn to get close. Maybe it's because he was her rescuer in a sense, but I think she just keeps everybody at a distance and won't trust anybody because she's lost everybody.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's
I
not
mean,
even.
later in the book, she continues this trajectory. She's lost her parents. They mentioned she has a cousin. Her cousin,
Yeah.
all of her people in Terrasen, her own identity. Like she's lost everybody, and then it continues with Nehemia and girls.
I know. Well, I wonder because Arabin knew who she was, right? Like he knew that
Mhm.
she was where she was from and who she was. Now, did he instill in her that she's not allowed to let anybody know that? And is that why she was keeping people at a distance? Like, if they find out, you're in danger. So
Yes.
that's why she never told anybody. And I wondered if maybe he had made her feel that way
Mm.
so that he could be the only one close to her. Did he have a use for her in the future, knowing who she was? Because
Absolutely.
he's doing all these things that don't make sense, like the whole thing with the slave trade, and it makes you wonder what his plan is. Because obviously,
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't read any more of the books, but it feels like he's got another agenda, and it's outside of the Assassin's Guild.
Yeah, he's always got other pieces moving. He's always pulling the string.
Exactly. But if he knows who she is he hoping? Was he hoping to put her back on the throne?
I
Like
don't
I
think
had a
he
lot of
wants her
freaking
on the throne
questions.
unless he marries her, and he can become king.
Yeah. But that's how do you do that? That's an easy enough thing to do if you've been
Mhm.
mentoring somebody for so long, is to say the only way I can protect you now is to do this, and
Yes.
we can get your people back. We can get your I don't know. I wrote that down, and I'm like, is that motherfucker trying to put her back on her throne because he wants power?
Maybe that is a very, very good. I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Obviously, I don't know, but it just felt like he's up to something. He knew who she was, and yeah, I don't know.
I think
Sometimes I think things, and I'm like, I'm probably way off base, but
no, it's totally worth noting. I think also like he didn't want her to tell anybody, but also she didn't want to tell anybody either because she's probably carrying so much shame for having staying been hidden for so long because the rule, Otterland's rule is terrible. And
yeah.
so she is in a position to be able to change that and do something about it. So the fact that she's been hiding for so long, I think she probably feels a lot of shame around that.
Yeah, maybe she does, but at the same time, I think she still feels enslaved to Arobyn
Mhm.
because she owes him money. So what could she have done until she paid herself
Right.
out?
And look
She's
what
still,
happens when she defies him. He beats her
yeah,
and sends her away. So yes.
and he didn't kill her, and that always when he didn't
He
kill
couldn't.
her, that's where I'm like, why didn't you just kill her?
Do
Why keep her around?
do
She's
you
not
know how
listening.
lucrative she is to him? She's constantly going on contracts and succeeding.
Yeah, but she's just cost him a lot of money, and now that she's not
Yeah.
listening and she's defying him, now
Mhm.
she's a wild card. I don't know if I would trust that, so I probably would have killed her. But
So
that's just me. I'm ruthless
do you think that he, in his own twisted way, actually cares about her, or do
No,
you think that she's just a pawn in
to the
the
point.
bigger picture? Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to
I
care
get that.
about people.
I don't think he can
I don't think he
care.
knows
I
how to.
don't think he can feel remorse. I don't think he can feel any of those positive feelings. I don't think he feel
No,
anything. I think
no.
he's just about himself and power and money and
I just don't think what he has is enough, and I think that there is something that I haven't seen yet, and I'm hoping that they talk about this. Do we see him in future books?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it mentions
Yeah.
him in, Throne of Glass and whatever that he's in Rifthold and he probably knows that she's there. So yeah, he makes another appearance.
Okay. Yeah, good. Because I hope he dies. That's where I'm at. I freaking
Right.
dies.
Okay, let's jump back into the thing. This
Okay.
one. Let's see. I wrote down their new suit was awesome. I absolutely like. Yes, I know that that's a bribery gift, but that was a cool suit that she is totally deserving of. Like the hidden weapons and stuff. I
Yeah.
loved that.
Yeah, me
I,
too.
I also wrote down, and I don't know if you noticed, and yes, the narrator's voice not matching isn't enough for me to say it's not true. But whenever they went to Donoval's party to spy on him, did you notice that I think Dorian showed up?
No.
Okay, so she's drunk and she's dancing, and she mentions that a guy comes in and he's obviously royalty, and he's flanked by like four other people, and she can tell he's royalty and he's got swag and all this stuff. And he comes up and he asks her to dance, and he's got vibrant sapphire eyes, Dorian, royalty. And Sam stepped in and was like, she's spoken for or whatever.
You have to be right. Oh
And
my
I
god.
noticed, yeah, I noticed that my first read through, but like I'm 95% sure that that is exactly who that's supposed to be.
No,
So
you are
that was really
100%.
interesting to me.
I believe I missed that. I can't believe I bloody missed
I
that.
didn't write down what chapter it was. I can go back in my notes. I can message you later and tell you what chapter if you want to read it.
Yes, please do, because I really now I feel like
And
I feel
it
like I
was
missed something.
it was just a little
Cool.
blip, but still, I'm pretty freaking sure that's what it is. So they've crossed paths now twice before we see them together in
Yeah,
front of.
but I guess that he never realizes that, right?
I
Like that.
know that he made a comment that he remembered meeting her whenever she was younger, whenever he went to
Yeah, but I
Terrace.
mean the party,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah,
that doesn't.
I don't think, and I
That's
don't
an
think
Easter
of
egg.
anybody else that can be because they've made comments about how Dorian's eyes are different. They're the sapphire
Oh,
eyes. So,
I can't believe I missed
yeah.
that.
Okay, so that was
Oh,
super interesting to me. After all of that, another thing I wrote down that was super cute was I just think Sam's so sweet. Whenever he gave her the sheet music of the piano that she was trying to play,
yes. Yeah, that was
that was sweet.
adorable.
That was
That
so
was
sweet.
adorable. That was so sweet. I actually really enjoyed the fact that she freed Sam too.
Oh, that she paid off his. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I
She
agree.
was like, I can't leave you there. I'm like,
Well,
oh. And she
there's
loves money. So I was like, that, and he meant more to her. That was the only time I kind of felt like, okay, I can kind of see her love for him. But
there's
up until that, I don't know, it just
There's not just
didn't
that. There's
convince.
there's the whenever she asked the merchant, like, "Oh, can you put spider silk in a suit, not my suit?" She put it in
Yeah,
Sam's.
a suit. Yeah,
And so whenever they were trying to go kill Donoval, he was shot in the heart with an arrow, but it
yeah,
grazed off because she decided she wanted to protect him over her.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
was super
I,
sweet, an act of love for him.
I think she would die for the people she loves. I really do. I
Absolutely.
really feel that way.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned the Ben body comment in the beginning. Like, she goes to such extreme lengths for the people that she loves.
Yeah.
Like, she's willing to
Yeah.
put herself in all of these dangerous positions or leave her own heart unprotected whenever
Yeah.
she's, her way.
I guess I kind of just wish that it had been more
Mhm.
romantic. I get,
Yeah, but
yeah, I
she's
don't
not
know. I just,
vulnerable like that.
true.
So we see her slowly start to open up and slowly start to be vulnerable with Sam throughout this little short story, but it is does not progress quickly.
No, I think that's why I wrote it down and I'm like, I'm wondering if I'm not feeling them as a couple because I know he dies.
Mhm.
And
Maybe.
I'm like, so I'm already anticipating it's not going to last.
So do you think that this Assassin's Blade would have had more of an impact on you if you read it first?
No,
No.
no,
Do you
I'm
think you
glad
would
we
have
did it this way.
appreciated it as much if you read it first? Like, do you think we
I
read it in the
probably,
right order?
okay, if I had read this one first, I probably wouldn't have bothered with the series.
Really?
Nah, because there was things like, what did I write back here? Like the slaves all came from, where Nehemia was from, right? A lot of them did. And that kind of made me feel the kinship of what Nehemia was going through
Mm-hmm.
because that's just already happening to her people. So
Right.
I think I needed the base story of the
Yes.
other two books first before reading this one because honestly, yeah, I'm glad we did it this way. I'm
I
glad that this
agree.
is the way you picked to do this.
Yeah, I think it's the right order, and people go back and forth. It's all controversial, but I think that this is the right order for sure.
Well, she wrote Throne of Glass first, so I feel like that is where she intended us to meet Selena.
Yeah, I think
Then she
she.
just filling in the excess. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think she wrote this one in the order that we read it. I think she wrote it
Yeah.
between Crown of Midnight and Air of Fire. I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that that's when she wrote it.
You're probably right. I don't know, but I think I needed to understand her more before I
Mm,
went back and it filled in some gaps.
yes.
So yeah, I think that she probably could have put each one of these little novellas in pieces all the way through the series, and it would have been okay as well.
Mhm.
Like not knowing how she ended up in jail didn't irritate me.
That's
I
okay.
never wondered why she was there until they explained why she was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh,
And it
okay.
gives
It
you
didn't
so
bother
much
me.
more of an understanding and an appreciation for her situation
Yeah,
and just
I
her as
like.
a person.
I needed to do it this way. I think
Good.
you nailed it.
I'm glad. Okay, so let's dive back into this. How did you feel about the sewer scene where she almost drowned?
That frightened me. I could
Mhm.
really feel just how frightened Sam was.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this girl he's been in love with for years is
I know.
he's
She's like, why don't you just let me
helpless.
die?
He's helpless to save her. And the part that really got me, and I actually like really started tearing up, is that moment that she accepted that she
Yeah,
realized she's not invincible and she accepted that she's gonna die. And she said, "Take my body back to Terracin."
oh, I wrote that down. That was, yeah, that hurt me.
Oh, me too.
I had tears
I'm
just.
about to start tearing up right now. By the way, in the later podcast, I probably will be crying on camera, so get ready.
Oh, good. We'll have tissues at the ready.
Very
But yeah,
intense.
I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and that really, she was human right there.
Hmm.
Right there was,
Yes.
yeah. I'm like, oh. See, it does matter. You can feel right there the where she came from mattered.
Yes.
Because up until that point, it didn't feel like it really did. And then I don't know. Yeah, that really it hurt me.
Hmm. Same.
I had to go get a cup of tea. Like I was like,
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so then after that, after he goes and all of that, she goes back to Arrobyn, and there's a lot to unpack in that scene. That's where we find out that he lied to her about what she killed the wrong person. She killed the person who's trying to help the slaves. And what a dick. Not only do we find out that he did that, but we find out that he just used all of the money that she gave him to pay off her debts for the girl that she hates the most to buy
just
her.
her virginity.
Yeah.
That really, like, I already didn't like him. But
Mm-hmm.
right there, I was absolutely disgusted. And it wasn't because he spent the money. Like, he could have gone and got whores and drank himself to death, and I would have hated him, but not as much. But to use all that money to buy sleeping with someone and taking a
Yes,
virginity,
and
I
something that
don't know,
is
that was
he doesn't like
disgusting.
her, and it's not even important. He's just gross. Okay, let's see. We were talking about Arobyn spending her
Doing this
money. Okay,
dirty bit.
Oh, okay. So I feel like this particular moment in this scene is such a turning point for her. I think she's really, it's all starting to like shine a light on how terrible of a human he is and how much he doesn't care about her and the cost that it will and the toll that it will take on her to stay tied to him.
Yep. And
And
I think this is where yeah, I think this is where she understands that what she believed wasn't true.
yes.
She now knows that what she felt she had is an illusion. And
Yes.
that must have been absolutely devastating.
Yes, but to what extent do you think she does notice this? Do you think that she's aware that she's being psychologically abused? Or do
I
you
don't
think
think
that
she
she
quite
just
under
he's a mess?
I don't think she quite
Yeah.
understands.
Same. I think
Yeah.
I don't know. That's gonna take a whole another layer peeling back for her to I don't know to admit that everything she's ever believed has been a lie.
Yeah. I think it's going to take a long time to even come to the realization. Like anyone that's ever been psychologically abused doesn't know it. Even when it's done, you still don't know it because it's all you learn something new all the time. And I'm hoping that it doesn't unravel her at any point, especially if she has to see him again,
Mhm.
like after, like when we
Yeah,
get going again.
we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. Um, okay, so did his manipulation of her, how did it make you feel? Did it make you angry? Did it make you scared for her? Did it make you sympathetic?
I was really, really angry.
I was
Really
angry
angry.
too.
Yeah, I was livid. Like I could have squeezed the life out of his.
Mm, because it started when she was 8 years old.
Yeah. So what was he doing to her back then?
Yeah, she's incapable of understanding things on
Mm.
that large of a scale at that point in time, you know?
No,
She's a like yeah, she's still a child, but she's a baby then.
he's such a yeah. And
Ugh,
I that
poor
makes me
girl.
angry to know that he was abusing a child and
Mhm.
turning it into something to forward his
Profit.
own agenda, and that's
Mhm.
disgusting.
I know. Oh,
I
he's
was
such a
so angry.
I don't ever want to use the word good to describe Arobyn, but he's such a good villain. Gosh,
He
she writes
was.
hate him so much.
Oh yes, she. I don't. It was very cleverly done because I kind of already did not like him.
Mhm.
Because even when in the first book, Throne of Glass, I'm like, if he's alive, how did she end up in jail, and why did he not do something about it?
Yeah.
And now I know. But it
Yes.
was a thought I had in the back of my head. Like this is supposed to be like your mentor, and you were going to take over from him, and he couldn't care less. Like, why
Mhm.
did he leave you to rot?
Yep. And I remember
No, not
bringing
now.
him up in Throne of Glass. I was like, "Did you notice anything about him?" And they only made like two tiny little comments, but I remember
Yeah,
bringing it up because he becomes such a big deal later on.
I get it, but yeah, but I get it now. Like when you were saying it, and I'm like, well, he barely like radared
Mhm.
here, but I wondered why he didn't help. Like she must have been transported there, so why didn't he collect her during? And I'm like, did she do something to him? Because we didn't know why she was in there. Like
Yeah.
I assumed it. At first, I thought it was because she's an assassin, she killed people. But then I'm like, why didn't he save her? And now I know,
Yes.
and I'm just really mad.
Yep. Okay, do you have anything else on that little
Nope,
section?
no, just
Yeah. Yeah, and then it just keeps getting worse.
I know you don't think it can, but it does.
Yeah. All right. So the assassin and the empire,
I'm ready.
jump into Selena and Sam have been living together. They want out, rightfully so. And Sam signs on for a contract to kill Farron and Jane, which are,
Yeah.
top crime lords and all of that. We see Sam being all patient and sweet and like, you can tell me your secrets in your own time.
Yeah, I liked that. I really
Yeah.
did like that.
Yeah, it was, and then Arrobyn coming into her apartment and trying to get in between them really bothered me about like,
Yes.
oh, can you trust Sam? Does he know who you are? Then even finally, this made me so mad. Arrobyn finally saying "I love you" to her, whenever she made a comment she's wanted to hear that for so long. Like now you're pulling this card.
Yeah. Is it another tactic?
Yeah,
He was manipulating her.
now that she's finally ready to walk, it's because he doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't
No.
want to lose her, and this is his, I guess, ace. That he's gonna try to pull out. Ugh.
Yeah. He's disgusting. But
He's
this was just affirmed my thought that he has bigger plans for her than just being an assassin. Because he's got assassins. Yes, she might be the best, but there's still going to be other people out there to do the bidding. Oh, that just made me wonder. I'm like, there has to have been more to it. He
Yeah.
had a bigger purpose for her.
Yes, I think so too, now that you say that. But then he starts to get in her head, and so she asks Sam, she's like, "What's your biggest secret?" And he says, I don't, what was his biggest secret? Now I'm blanking.
But it was that he
Oh,
been
he
in
was
love.
in love with her for years.
Yeah,
Yes.
for years.
But then whenever she said she's scared, she's always been a coward and didn't, own up to it. And then he said his little mantra that he uses, I'm Sam Cortland and I will not be afraid.
Yeah.
And then we see a little bit of it at the end of this book, but she really adopts that over the series and that becomes her mantra. And I just think that that is such a sweet little tribute to Sam and a way to
Yeah.
keep him
She
around
kept
and keep her strong.
Yeah, she kept his memory alive by doing something that
Yeah,
he used to do. Yeah,
I
it
love
was
that.
sweet. It was
I love
sweet. It
that.
was really sweet.
Okay, so then Sam goes to kill Farron, and I really felt the panic in her in searching
Yes.
for him and the almost the despair. She couldn't do anything about it, and she's never puts herself in a position to feel
Yeah.
that.
There was something like 'cause he went to do it by himself, and that didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Why they
Yeah.
would split
Well,
up?
I think because Farron is such a sadistic torturer and stuff, I think in a way it was to protect Selena from him, but also I think in a way it was for Sam to prove to himself that he's as good as her and that he can do it too.
I think it was a dangerous
Me
gamble.
too. One of the questions I wrote down is, do you think that if they had worked together?
I think they may have succeeded. I really
Mhm.
do because I think
Mhm.
that this was a huge mistake when he went off. I'm like, she's not with him. Why is she not with him?
Yeah.
This is stupid. This is absolutely
Like,
stupid.
at least she wasn't even gonna kill Jane until the next day, so at least
Yeah.
go be a watch out, Like,
Yeah,
you
go
should
and be
protect
backup.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yes.
it didn't. That really didn't make
It was
sense. I
weird.
don't
Yeah,
know why it was written that way. It really.
I thought that
I
was
just
super
don't
weird
like that.
too.
I'm like, why are they not together? The
Yeah.
two's always better than one, and your ego's going to get in the way because you have to prove something now. Like, I don't know. That
Absolutely.
really. I don't know. I
I
didn't
didn't
like
like it either.
that.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't like that at all.
And then also, I didn't like that of all the people in the world, Arobyn is the one who comes and breaks the news to her.
Because that he was hoping she'd get so fucking mad that she'd do something stupid and have to go running back to him because now he's taken away
Mhm.
Sam. I told you because that's what it felt like. Like she traded Arrobyn for Sam, and I think that's what Arrobyn thought as well. And
It
now
is.
she'd go crawling back to him because she's got nobody else.
Yeah, and
That made me really mad.
whenever he came to her apartment the first time, he straight out said, "I do not like that you chose Sam over me." So I don't think
Yeah,
those were the exact words. That's what he told her. So that's absolutely what it is.
yeah. So he had to get Sam out of the way to get her back, which again shows me he's got big plans. And
Mm-hmm.
he's not above killing people to get there.
Yep, you're right.
I'm still really angry
I can tell. Let it out.
because I put holes in my page. Like when I was writing notes, I was like, oh, my husband's like, you're right. Like, no,
Great.
made me some Earl Grey. He's like, calm down, you're all right.
Oh gosh. Okay, but then she goes to see his body, and that is, I mean,
Oh,
I feel that Farron really lived up to his, sadistic reputation.
yes.
I didn't remember the first read through. I totally forgot or missed or whatever that they took his eyes.
Yeah. I literally was like, I'm like, Sarah J. Maas owes me some freaking therapy now because that was massively disturbing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty bad.
yeah.
And then her curling up next to him, and she's like, "I'm not gonna leave." Poor
You
Celaena.
know, it was really quite traumatic to read that. So I can't imagine how she would have felt being there.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure I would have wanted to go see that either.
Well, yes and no. Even in the beginning with Ben, she was like, "I need to see his body. I need to see how many times how big of a fight he put up." Like that's just
Yeah.
she
You're right.
can't
Yeah.
look at a body and see the story unfold.
Yeah. But that's what she needs.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but also to believe it, because can you believe anything that Arobyn says?
No.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
Another note that I noticed that I didn't notice on the first read is she never told him she loved him.
No.
So he said it multiple times, and she would be like, "Oh, I have to pack." Or whatever.
Yeah.
And yes, she told him in ways like giving him the spider silk and, little small acts of kindness, but she never said it. And that's gotta really, really, really weigh heavily on her heart
Yes.
to have missed that opportunity.
Yeah. You know what? I noticed that she didn't say it, but I guess I never thought about the impact that would have that she never did get the chance to in the end
Mhm.
either. Well, that's really tragic.
Yeah. And then another thing that I feel like she probably is going to carry so much guilt for is in the beginning, Sam just wants to go. He doesn't want another contract. And she is so unwilling to compromise or, do what he wants to do that she pushes for it. And yes, I understand you need to leave on a clean break so that you're not being chased your life. I get that. But he really was
Yeah.
pushing to not do that. So she's probably carrying a lot of
Yeah. If she'd have, you know what? I think Sam was wrong though. If they had just walked away and not paid to get out of the guild, I really believe that it wouldn't have mattered where they would have gone. Arrobyn would have hunted them down. I think Celaena had the measure of how
Yes.
far Arrobyn would have gone.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it was that she just didn't want to do it. I think this was more about the fact that she was trying to protect Sam when Sam wasn't thinking clearly enough.
And she
Like,
knows
just
how
because you
Arrobyn
got off the
thinks.
continent, I
Mhm.
think Arobyn would have hunted them down and he wouldn't have cared how much it would have cost or how far
Absolutely.
he had to go. They would be dead. And
Absolutely.
I don't think Selena wanted to start their life together looking over her shoulder.
I absolutely
But
agree with
because you said that in Throne of Glass, you're like, she
you
wants to be
about
free, right?
yes. Yes.
She wants to be free. So why would that not, she would have wanted that here too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're not truly free unless you
Yeah,
are
unless
in
you're
all aspects.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was always a theme in these books is that she understood to be free meant you have to check off every
Yeah.
box.
You have
And
to, yeah.
Sam was just like, look, we'll get off the continent. He won't come looking for us. And I don't think Selena was buying that.
Yep.
I didn't buy that.
Same. Same. So did any red flags go up after she went and saw the body? She was in a room and Arobyn and the other assassins were talking outside the door of their plans.
I think they did that.
Did you think it was a setup right away or did you think it was just coincidence? Yeah.
There's no freaking way
Right.
that after Ben's body wasn't even retrieved and they didn't do anything about it, that they were going to do something for
Yeah.
Sam and Sam had already been bought out. There's no fucking way. I was
When
like,
Arobyn was already upset with him or jealous of him? No.
there's no way. I was like, yeah, there's something fishy here because I'm not buying that he
Yeah.
wants to exact revenge for this. I'm not buying it. I don't believe it. And after
And
he said, I wouldn't take this contract to Selena, and now he's going to go kill him for killing Sam.
well,
Well, okay. You wouldn't have done it for money, but you can do it for revenge, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And he knows Celaena, and this is just an example where, her impulsivity and her need for revenge, it's her downfall. Like
Yeah, but he
she
knows that, and he's using it to his advantage.
I know.
But I hate him so
I
much.
do too.
I print clothes for myself, like book stuff. I think I'm gonna
Mhm.
print one where I'm gonna say Arobyn must die on the front. Where on the next? But I can't stand him. I hate him so much. I
Wear
think
it
I like him better.
wear it on the next episode. Yes, don't wear it out in public. You don't want to invite anybody to come talk to you about the ending of series, though.
Okay,
Like, you don't want any spoilers in public. And everybody equally hates Arobyn. So
that's true.
wear it on here where people know where you are in the series.
I'm so mad. I don't think a character has ever made me this angry before.
Yeah, Sarah J. Maas is really, really good at connecting you, whether it's in a positive way or in a rage way, to her character. She's good, and this
It's
series is
happening online. I don't see all the hate for this guy.
that's because Throne of Glass isn't as popular, I don't think,
I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying
and because we're still really early in the series. There will be more villains introduced as well. So he's I don't want to say the best villain or the worst villain or whatever, but he's the one that really gets under your skin because he's not flat out. He doesn't admit that he's evil, He plays the nice guy and pretends that he is her father figure, mentor, whatever.
He's
So
just
yes, he is. So then she goes, on her revenge spree, and Wesley ends up trying to warn her. I don't know if
yeah.
you remember in Crown of Midnight, she's talking to, I think it was Kale and Kale mentioned that he knew who Rourke was, Farron Rourke was, and all of that. And we learn in Crown of Midnight that Wesley killed Jane, or after he killed Farron, Arobyn retaliated by stabbing him on an iron stake while he was still alive.
Yes.
So obviously Celaena thought that Wesley hated her this whole time. Obviously not, if he's trying to, and then he's going to, kill the person responsible for all of this trash that happens in her life. So
it was
so she jumps through the window, set up. She's so talented, we see, with how many people she's able to take down before, the Gloriella gets her.
Oh, she was badass. Like I was
Yeah.
glued. I didn't write any notes down in the last part because I told you that I fell asleep and I had 22 pages left. I had to go back because I must have like been dozing off as I was reading. So I had to go back and I didn't write any notes because I was like,
I looked where you were whenever you said 22 pages, and it took me to the page where she was about to run and jump through the window, and I was like, how the hell are you going to fall asleep right here? This is so exciting.
I don't normally stay up so late, but
Yeah.
I wanted to keep reading. And I'm like, my
Yeah.
husband's like, why are you still up? And I'm like,
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
I'm almost done. But I realized that there was things that I missed. So I had to go back a
Mhm.
little further. Like,
Yes.
when was I actually conscious reading?
Yeah. Yeah, I do that too. Okay, so then she gets captured. Ugh, the whole scene with Farron, like, you're pretty. Like, that was gross. He's so gross too. I'm so glad
But we
he's
know he's gross. We know
yeah.
he's gross.
I'm glad he's dead. And then she's in the royal dungeons and the king comes in and she's like, just make it quick. And he sentenced her
Yeah.
to end of year. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's said for sure, but do you think that that was because she requested that he make it quick, or you think it's because he had a deal with Farron slash Arobyn?
I think that's exactly what it was. I don't think this was anything to do with what she wanted.
Mhm.
I think this was because I think they wanted to break her. I don't think they wanted her to die in there.
Yeah,
I think they wanted her to break her so she'd come back.
absolutely. Yeah. Or so that she could be used for them. Which
Yeah.
But actually, if that was a train of thought, then why be Dorian's champion? Or maybe, I don't know.
I
Maybe Dorian
wonder
had
if
overheard him talking about it and he was like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe it was the seeds were planted over time.
Mhm.
Maybe it was like, I hope no one picks her because that will really piss me off, blah, blah, blah. Because Dorian's always trying to go up against his dad, right? And he would be like, oh, okay, then I'll do that. Reverse
Maybe
psychology going on there.
maybe if it's not even with regards to the champion or the tournament, and maybe it's just like, oh, I'm gonna keep her in there in case I ever need her. Like he's aware that she's
Yeah,
there. But
yeah,
okay, so at the end, Selena is still not able to admit that Arobyn is the one that betrayed her. She's talking about, I don't remember the other guard's name. It started with an H, Hammond or something. She's like, oh, I bet it
yeah,
was
I don't
him.
know.
I bet it was him. Whatever.
Yeah,
Arobyn will come save me. Do you?
yeah,
And it makes comments in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, like almost like I'm not ready to think about the
yeah.
betrayal. Do you think that she will ever be able to see or admit that Arobyn was the one who set this whole thing up?
I'm hoping she does. I'm hoping she does, but that's still a really bitter pill to swallow. Like the person who
Mm,
took care of you for all those years, no matter what he's done, that's what she had. It's kind of like when you have an abusive parent and you still can't admit that that's not good, but you still love that parent.
you
It would be
see
a really hard thing. I think it would be a really hard thing for her to do. But I'm hoping that when she steps into her, like, 'cause she has the throne, right, and she's a fae, that maybe at some point she can admit that to herself, and that when the healing will start.
yeah, it is.
Be interesting to see. So I know now that I haven't read any more books in this series because I was flicking through the next one and I'm like, I started it and then I forgot all about it. And I thought I'd read it, which is why I sent it back to the library and I'm like, I did not finish it. I got like 3 chapters in.
This is seriously when the series starts. And it doesn't even start until like a little bit of a chunk into Era of Fire. Actually, really the end of Era of Fire is whenever I would say the series really starts.
Yeah.
Like
Well, I thought,
it's when it just doesn't slow down. It's all
yeah,
just fucking wild and fun and sad and everything from here on.
I'm
Oh.
excited for that. But I
Well,
honestly thought I had read it and I'm like, I did not finish this. I got 3 chapters in and I could have sworn that I thought I had finished it and I sent the book back.
mhm.
And I was, if you'd have asked me, I would have told you, I swear on my kids' lives, I finished this book. And I know I didn't. I know I didn't.
That's fair. That's okay. We
So
will.
this is exciting for me.
Another thing that I wrote down was because it mentioned in her dreams and stuff before that she'd seen like a recurrent, like a white stag, which is a symbol of Terrasen, and
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty significant and a powerful little symbol for her to have seen the one at the end whenever she's traveling to
yeah,
Endovir. Like I feel like
yeah,
it was just kind of it's set up as a reminder of like don't lose yourself,
yeah.
like
That's
stay
how I
strong.
felt about it too. I don't know much about what this whole thing about the stag is, except for where they've mentioned it, where it's like it tells you how to get home, right?
It's like
The
the
Lord of the
symbol, the
North.
mascot, all of that of the north of where she's from.
Yeah. So I'm like, because I know it comes up. Like I even made a bookmark with the head on it, and I'm like, I still don't know quite what that's all about, but it's on everything.
Yeah, so like in Game of Thrones, the Stark family are the wolves. It's just
Yeah, they're
the
direwolves.
Terrace
Yeah,
and Orinth area family. They're stags. So
yeah,
that's their crest, I guess.
yeah. No, it makes sense. It's funny because I felt like that too. Like that was don't give up hope.
Yeah.
Don't give up
Yeah.
hope.
I found it was actually pretty powerful for me. I enjoyed that,
Yeah,
throwing that in there.
yeah. I think
But
it was well done.
yeah, that's the last I have on that section. Other than that, I just really enjoyed, I don't know, I really enjoyed the balance between all of the action-packed and like high stakes scenes mixed in
Yeah.
with the quieter moments with Irene and Sam and all of that. It was, I don't know, it really, I love Selena.
I
Like,
do now. I do as well. I was really ambivalent for a while, but I can kind of see how she interacts with different people and how much she gives over of herself depending on who they are and what they need. I noticed that too. She gives what she knows they need from her, opposed to
yeah,
what she's willing to give. And I thought that was really sweet.
yeah. I I don't know. It is. I love it. So I
Yeah.
also like that, we see how Arobyn has shaped her, but in
Yeah.
shaping her, he's left like all these little cracks for rebellion. And I
Yeah.
really like that in those cracks now we start to see her character growth and her deciding who she wants to be. And I
Yeah.
really like that it's leaving the door open for her to now step out of being Aaron's protege and really come into her own. So we'll
Yeah.
see that moving forward.
Yeah, I liked that because I felt like there were two doors. The one where she
Mhm.
became what Arobyn wanted her to be and who she was going to be to herself. And you could kind of see that she could have gone either way for a while. But in the end, her moral compass, she had a moral compass and she wasn't willing to deviate from that. And
Yes.
maybe she didn't know she had a moral compass until that point with the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
yeah.
I mean, I think also too, like, I don't know, but I think that was the first time he ever sent her away. So I think that was the first time she was away from him and able to think for herself.
Oh, maybe. Well, that's that's something, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Mm.
You could be right there.
Yeah,
With no
I
watchful
love
eye. But
it.
then he obviously felt, but then he must have felt like he had hard enough control on her that she wouldn't deviate from what he wanted. So
Otherwise, he wouldn't have sent her.
he underestimated her.
Yeah, absolutely. Or overestimated his power that he had over her.
Yeah, it's probably both. Probably both. But yeah, that's a really good thing to have noted.
I love
Smart.
it.
Very
So
smart. I love that.
next book, we are going to we left Crown of Midnight with, Kale sending her off to Wendlin
Yeah.
and finding out that she's Aelin. So next book, we will be meeting some new characters because if I remember correctly, it kind of flip flops. Like we still, get some Otterlin perspectives and stuff, but we also get Celaena,
Okay.
who's going to be in Wendlin. So we're going to get to meet some people who live there and all of that. We're going to expand our cast. So
That's exciting.
yeah. Oh,
I'm
it's so much
excited.
fun. I will warn you
We're
in
gonna do the whole book.
I am down to do the whole book. If you need to split it, we
Okay.
can. I
No, I
do
think I'm okay.
I do
I'm okay.
100% believe that after this, for time, not for I can absolutely read the books in a week, but if we're trying to keep our episodes a certain length, I think that there's
Yeah.
just so much in all of them. I don't think that we'll be able to do it in the same amount of same length of time that we've been doing. And Air of Fire might be tricky. I'll need to look and see if this is the book that I want to say maybe this is also a book that another cast of characters get introduced as well.
Okay.
But that might be Queen of Shadows. And if so, then it's split between three ways and there's a lot of information. So
Okay.
I'll just
Okay. Well, maybe we'll start reading and see.
yeah, we'll start reading and then if we make it like halfway or whatever and there's already like a lot to talk about, then maybe we'll split it into two. And I'll look up a good
Yeah.
spot to stop so that we're not in the middle of,
Okay.
multiple storylines while we're talking.
Okay, that's a good plan because we've gone well over an hour already, and that book was only like 400 pages. So I was just wondering, like,
I don't know how
how
long the
long?
next one is. Oh, it's longer. It's longer. It starts off, in my opinion, a little slow. Like, I don't know. I'm a little you go back to being a little like, come on, Selena. Like a
Yeah,
little annoyed with her after being like having all of these positive feelings for her in this book. So it's interesting. But it
that's gonna
picks
be
up and
interesting.
oh my god, the end of it is so good.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. But I'll let you lead it because you have read it and I have not. So I'm gonna let you lead.
No worries. I mean, I think we're pretty much
Awesome.
on the same wavelength for most of it. So it
Yeah, it
works.
seems that way. It's nice.
So yeah, join us next week whenever we dive into Air of Fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
me too.
But you can always catch our updates. I am having problem with my Instagram at the toppling TBR underscore Stacy. So if you're not seeing updates on there, it's because Instagram hates me. I'm trying to
Oh,
get it fixed. But you can follow Hannah on her Instagram at the toppling TBR underscore Hannah, and that's HANNA. I will be uploading onto Facebook, so you can check out our page there at the Toppling TBR, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/at the Toppling TBR, and I will make sure we keep you updated on what we're going to be doing next. You have anything else to say, Hannah?
no, I'm excited. I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, guys.